Tonight on The Sleepy Scientist, we're drifting gently into the mysterious realm where consciousness meets the unconscious, exploring why your brain creates the wild, wonderful, and sometimes bewildering dreams that visit you every night. From the moment you close your eyes to the strange narratives that unfold in sleep's embrace, we'll journey through the peaceful science of dreams and discover the beautiful reasons your mind continues its creative work long after your body has surrendered to rest. In the quiet darkness of your bedroom, as your breathing deepens and your muscles relax, something extraordinary begins to unfold within the soft, folded tissue of your brain. While your body lies still, your mind embarks on adventures that can take you soaring through impossible landscapes, reunite you with long-lost friends, or transport you to worlds that exist nowhere but in the gentle creativity of your sleeping consciousness. These nightly journeys we call dreams have puzzled humanity since the dawn of consciousness itself. Ancient civilizations believed dreams were messages from gods or glimpses into other realms. Modern science has revealed something even more wondrous. Dreams are the magnificent work of your own remarkable brain, weaving together memories, emotions, and imagination in patterns both meaningful and mysterious. Tonight, as we explore the peaceful science of why your brain creates these extraordinary experiences, we'll discover that dreams are not random firings of neural circuits or meaningless static from a resting mind. Instead, they represent some of the most sophisticated and purposeful work your brain performs, serving functions so crucial to your mental and emotional well-being that evolution has preserved and refined the dreaming process over millions of years. Every night, as you slip into the gentle embrace of sleep, your brain begins a carefully orchestrated dance of neurochemical changes that will create the perfect conditions for dreaming. Neurotransmitters ebb and flow like tides. Brain regions quiet their chatter while others burst into creative activity, and the very architecture of consciousness itself transforms to allow for experiences that would be impossible in waking life. The dreams that visit you in the depths of sleep serve as a bridge between your conscious and unconscious minds, processing the day's experiences, consolidating memories, working through emotions, and sometimes offering creative insights that surprise you with their clarity and usefulness. They are your brain's way of maintaining mental health, emotional balance, and cognitive function while you rest. As we begin our gentle journey into this realm of sleep and dreams, let us approach with wonder rather than analysis, curiosity rather than judgment. The world of dreams operates by its own beautiful logic, where time flows differently. Impossible events seem perfectly natural, and the boundaries between self and other, real and imaginary, dissolve into the flowing creativity of the sleeping mind. We'll explore how your brain creates the vivid imagery that fills your dreams, why emotions feel so intense in the dream state, and how the stories that unfold during sleep can be both deeply personal and universally human. We'll discover the neurochemical symphony that makes dreaming possible, and understand why this nightly creative process is so essential to your overall well-being. So, settle comfortably into this exploration, knowing that as we learn about the science of dreams, we're also preparing our minds for their own nightly journey into the realm of sleep and dreams. Let the gentle rhythm of our investigation lull you toward the peaceful state where science ends, and the mystery of your own dreaming mind begins. As we drift deeper into understanding the world of dreams, we must first explore the gentle landscape of sleep itself, that mysterious territory, where consciousness gradually dissolves and gives way to the different kinds of awareness that characterize our sleeping hours. Sleep is not a single, uniform state, but rather a journey through distinct phases, each with its own neurochemical signature and its own contribution to the dreaming process. When you first close your eyes and begin to feel the day's tensions melting away, your brain begins orchestrating one of the most precisely timed biological processes in your body. Like a skilled conductor leading a complex symphony, your brain coordinates the release of sleep-promoting chemicals, while gradually quieting the neural networks that maintain waking consciousness. The architecture of sleep unfolds in cycles that repeat throughout the night, each cycle lasting approximately 90 to 110 minutes. Within each cycle, your brain moves through distinct stages, from the light drowsiness of early sleep, through the deep restorative phases of slow-wave sleep, and finally into the vivid dream-rich periods of REM sleep, where the most memorable and bizarre. Dreams typically occur during the first stage of sleep as you hover in the peaceful twilight. Between waking and sleeping, your brain waves begin to slow. From the rapid beta waves of alert consciousness to the gentler alpha and theta rhythms that characterize relaxation and early sleep, your muscles start to relax, your breathing becomes more regular, and your mind may drift through hypnagogic hallucinations, those strange, fleeting images that sometimes surprise you. As you fall asleep, as you sink deeper into sleep's embrace, you enter stage 2 non-REM sleep, where your brain begins producing the distinctive sleep spindles and K-complexes that neuroscientists can detect on EEG recordings. These brief bursts of brain activity help protect your sleep from being disrupted by minor sounds or movements, acting like gentle guardians that allow your consciousness to retreat further from the waking world. The deepest stages of non-REM sleep, stages 3 and 4, are characterized by the slow, rolling delta waves that give this phase its name, slow wave sleep. During these periods, your brain waves synchronize into the slow, powerful rhythms that facilitate physical restoration and certain types of memory consolidation. Your body's growth hormone production peaks during slow wave sleep, and your immune system performs many of its maintenance and repair functions. While dreams can occur during non-REM sleep, they tend to be more thought-like and less vivid than the elaborate narratives that characterize REM dreaming. Non-REM dreams often involve reviewing recent events or working through practical concerns in a more straightforward, less fantastical manner than the wild creativity of REM dreams. After progressing through the stages of non-REM sleep, your brain begins its ascent back toward lighter sleep and eventually enters REM sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep, the phase most strongly associated with vivid dreaming. During REM sleep, your brain becomes nearly as active as it is during waking hours. But this activity is channeled into creating the rich, often bizarre experiences we call dreams. The discovery of REM sleep in the 1950s revolutionized our understanding of dreams and sleep. Researchers noticed that sleeping subjects' eyes would move rapidly beneath their closed lids during certain periods of the night, and when awakened during these periods, people reported the most vivid and memorable dreams. This discovery revealed that dreaming is not a rare occurrence, but a regular, predictable part of the sleep cycle that occurs multiple times each night. Throughout a typical night's sleep, you'll experience 4 to 6 complete sleep cycles, with REM periods becoming longer and more frequent toward morning. This is why you're way more likely to remember dreams from the later part of your sleep period. You're spending more time in the REM state where the most vivid dreams occur, and you're more likely to wake up directly from a REM period. The timing of REM sleep is controlled by your brain's internal clock, working in harmony with circadian rhythms that govern many aspects of your physiology. Temperature, hormone levels, and neurotransmitter production all fluctuate in patterns that support the natural progression through sleep stages and optimize the conditions for dreaming. During REM sleep, your brain essentially paralyzes your voluntary muscles except for the diaphragm and the muscles that control your eyes. This temporary paralysis, called rematonia, prevents you from physically acting out your dreams and potentially injuring yourself. The brain achieves this protective mechanism by actively inhibiting motor neurons, ensuring that the dramatic adventures playing out in your mind don't translate into physical movement. The percentage of time spent in REM sleep changes across the lifespan, with newborns spending about 50% of their sleep time in REM, while adults typically spend about 20 to 25% of their sleep in this dream-rich state. This dramatic difference suggests that REM sleep and dreaming serve particularly important functions during periods of rapid brain development. Temperature regulation becomes impaired during REM sleep, making you temporarily cold-blooded like a reptile. This is why the temperature of your sleeping environment can significantly affect your dream content and quality to hot or to cold, and your brain may cut short REM periods to restore normal temperature regulation, potentially reducing your dreaming time. The chemical environment of your brain during REM sleep is unlike any other state of consciousness. Norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine neurotransmitters that help maintain logical thinking and reality testing during waking hours drop to their lowest levels of the entire day. Meanwhile, acetylcholine reaches peaks that rival or exceed waking levels, creating the perfect neurochemical cocktail for the creative, illogical, and emotionally intense experiences that characterize dreams. Understanding this landscape of sleep helps us appreciate that dreams don't occur in a vacuum, but arise from specific neurobiological conditions that your brain creates with remarkable precision night after night. The journey through sleep stages is like traveling through different countries, each with its own climate, customs, and characteristics, all leading to the strange and wonderful territory where dreams are born. Let's float gently toward that mysterious threshold where sleep deepens into dream, exploring the precise moment when your resting brain begins to weave the extraordinary tapestries of imagery, emotion, and narrative that we call dreams. Understanding when and how dreams emerge requires us to peer into the intricate timing and neurochemical choreography that transforms simple sleep into the theater of the unconscious mind. The discovery of REM sleep in the 1950s by Eugene Osinski and Nathaniel Kleitman at the University of Chicago opened the first clear window into the timing and nature of dreaming. These pioneering researchers noticed that sleeping subjects would periodically enter a state where their eyes moved rapidly beneath closed lids, while their brain activity surged to levels approaching waking consciousness. When awakened during these periods, subjects reported vivid, often bizarre dreams with remarkable consistency. This groundbreaking discovery revealed that dreaming follows a predictable pattern throughout the night, challenging earlier assumptions that dreams were brief flashes of imagery that occurred only upon waking. Instead, researchers found that we dream extensively and regularly, spending approximately 2 hours each night immersed in the vivid narratives created by our sleeping brains. REM sleep periods are not distributed evenly throughout the night, but follow a carefully orchestrated schedule controlled by your brain's internal circadian clock. The first REM period typically begins about 70 to 90 minutes after sleep onset and lasts only 5 to 10 minutes. As the night progresses, REM periods become longer and more frequent, with the final REM episode of the night sometimes lasting 30 to 40 minutes. During REM sleep, your brain undergoes remarkable changes that create the perfect conditions for dream formation. The visual cortex becomes highly active despite the absence of external visual input, generating the rich imagery that characterizes most dreams. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for logical thinking, self-awareness, and reality testing, becomes less active, allowing for the acceptance of impossible scenarios and bizarre logic that make dreams so uniquely strange. The brainstem, particularly a region called the pons, plays a crucial role in initiating and maintaining REM sleep. Clusters of neurons in the pons begin firing in distinctive patterns that trigger the cascade of changes throughout the brain that characterize REM sleep. These pontine neurons release acetylcholine, which activates various brain regions while simultaneously triggering the release of other neurotransmitters that will shape the dream experience. The timing of dream onset is influenced by multiple factors, including your sleep schedule, age, stress levels, medications, and even what you've eaten before bed. Alcohol, for example, can suppress REM sleep during the first part of the night, leading to a rebound effect later that may result in more intense or disturbing dreams. Sleep deprivation can cause REM rebound as well, leading to longer and more vivid dream periods when you finally get adequate rest. Temperature fluctuations in your brain and body also influence the timing and intensity of dreams. Your core body temperature naturally drops during the night, reaching its lowest point in the early morning hours when REM sleep is most abundant. This temperature change appears to facilitate the neurochemical conditions that make vivid dreaming possible. The content and emotional tone of dreams change throughout the night in patterns that reflect both the underlying sleep architecture and your brain's processing priorities. Early dreams, occurring during the first REM periods of the night, tend to be shorter and often incorporate recent experiences or concerns from the day. Later dreams, emerging from the longer REM periods toward morning, tend to be more elaborate, bizarre, and emotionally intense. Your brain's preparation for dreaming actually begins hours before the first REM period. During the earliest stages of slow-wave sleep, Your brain consolidates memories and processes emotions in ways that will influence the content and themes of later dreams. This preliminary processing helps explain why dreams often feel meaningful and personally relevant despite their often bizarre surface content. The neurotransmitter acetylcholine plays a particularly crucial role in dream initiation and maintenance. As acetylcholine levels surge during REM sleep, it activates neural circuits involved in memory, attention, and sensory processing while simultaneously triggering the vivid hallucinations and emotion and intensity that characterize dreams. This neurotransmitter acts like a key that unlocks the door to the dreaming mind. Simultaneously, the levels of norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine neurotransmitters associated with alertness, reality testing, and logical thinking drop to their lowest levels of the entire sleep period. This neurochemical shift creates a state of consciousness unlike any other, where the normal rules of logic and physics are suspended, allowing for the creative and often impossible scenarios that make dreams so fascinating. The brainstem also coordinates the muscle paralysis that accompanies REM sleep, ensuring that the dramatic adventures playing out in your mind don't translate into physical movement. This protective mechanism involves the active inhibition of motor neurons, creating a temporary disconnect between dream actions and actual muscle movement. Individual differences in sleep architecture affect when and how intensely people dream. Some individuals naturally have longer REM periods and may experience more vivid or frequent dreams. Others may have shorter REM periods but dream more intensely during those times. Age, genetics, lifestyle factors, and even personality traits can all influence your personal dreaming patterns. The transition into REM sleep and dreaming is not always smooth or complete. Sometimes you may experience brief awakenings during REM periods, leading to the vivid recall of dream content. Other times, you might transition between REM and non-REM sleep several times during a single sleep cycle, creating dreams that change in intensity and bizarreness as your brain moves between different neurochemical states. Understanding when dreams are born helps us appreciate that these nightly journeys are not random occurrences, but precisely timed neurobiological events that serve important functions for mental and emotional health. The predictable timing of dreams suggests that they are essential enough to warrant their own dedicated time periods, scheduled by evolution to occur when they can best serve their mysterious but vital purposes. Our peaceful journey now takes us into the intricate landscape of the dreaming brain itself, where we'll explore the remarkable neural architecture that transforms the quiet darkness of sleep into the vivid, emotionally rich experiences we call dreams. Understanding which brain regions become active during dreaming and how they coordinate their efforts reveals the beautiful complexity underlying even the most seemingly chaotic dream narrative. During REM sleep, your brain becomes a symphony orchestra where different sections play their parts in creating the rich, multifaceted experience of dreaming. Unlike waking consciousness, where brain activity is distributed fairly evenly across many regions, the dreaming brain shows distinctive patterns of activation and deactivation that create the unique characteristics of dream consciousness. The visual cortex becomes remarkably active during REM sleep, despite your eyes being closed and receiving no external visual input. This activation generates the rich visual imagery that characterizes most dreams: the faces you see, the landscapes you explore, the objects that appear and transform. The dreaming brain essentially creates its own private movie theater, generating visual experiences that can be as vivid and detailed as waking perception. The visual association areas, which normally help interpret and give meaning to what you see, also become highly active during dreaming. These regions work to create coherent visual scenes from the neural activity generated by the visual cortex, which helps explain why dream imagery often feels familiar and meaningful even when it depicts impossible or fantastical scenarios. The limbic system, your brain's emotional processing center, becomes intensely active during REM sleep, particularly the amygdala, which processes fear and other strong emotions. This heightened emotional activity explains why dreams often feel so emotionally intense, and why emotional memories and concerns frequently appear in dream content. The dreaming brain seems to use this emotional intensity to process and integrate experiences that have significance for your psychological well-being. The hippocampus, crucial for memory formation and spatial navigation, shows complex patterns of activity during dreaming. While it becomes less active in some respects compared to waking, it continues to process and consolidate memories in ways that often influence dream content. The hippocampus appears to provide the raw material for dreams by offering up memories, associations, and learned patterns that the dreaming brain can recombine in novel ways. Perhaps most intriguingly, the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for logical thinking, self-awareness, planning, and reality testing, shows significantly decreased activity during REM sleep. This deactivation of your brain's executive control center helps explain many of the puzzling characteristics of dreams. Why you readily accept impossible situations, why you rarely question dream logic, and why you often fail to recognize that you're dreaming. The reduction in prefrontal cortex activity also affects working memory during dreams, making it difficult to maintain awareness of your identity, goals, or recent events in a coherent way. This is why dream narratives often jump between scenes without clear transitions, and why you might interact with people from different periods of your life as if they all exist in the same time and place. The temporal lobes, which process auditory information and help integrate sensory experiences, become active during dreaming in ways that generate the sounds you hear in dreams. The dreaming brain can create remarkably realistic auditory experiences, from conversations with dream characters to music that seems to play from some invisible source. Sometimes dreamers report hearing sounds so clear and realistic that they wake up wondering if the sound came from their dream or their physical environment. The parietal lobes, which normally help maintain your sense of body position and spatial orientation, show altered activity patterns during dreaming. This may contribute to the strange experiences of movement in dreams, the sensation of flying, falling, or moving through space in impossible ways. The altered parietal lobe activity also affects your sense of self-awareness and body boundaries in dreams. The brainstem regions that control REM sleep coordinate these various brain activities through the release of specific neurotransmitters. The locus coeruleus, which normally releases norepinephrine to maintain alertness and attention, becomes quiet during REM sleep. The ROF nuclei, which release serotonin to support logical thinking and impulse control, also reduce their activity dramatically during dreaming periods. Meanwhile, the pedunculopontine nucleus releases high levels of acetylcholine, which activates the visual cortex, limbic system, and other brain regions involved in dreaming. This acetylcholine surge acts like a conductor's baton, coordinating the various brain regions into the symphony of neural activity that creates dream experiences. The motor cortex shows interesting patterns during REM sleep. While it can become active and generate the neural commands for movement, these commands are blocked at the level of the brainstem to prevent physical movement during dreams. This is why you might dream of running or fighting, but wake up to find your body perfectly still. Occasionally, this motor inhibition fails partially, leading to sleep-talking, sleepwalking, or REM behavior disorder. The anterior cingulate cortex, which helps process emotions and resolve conflicts, becomes selectively active during REM sleep. This region may contribute to the emotional problem-solving that appears to occur in dreams, helping to work through conflicts, fears, and unresolved issues through the symbolic language of dream narratives. Language areas of the brain show complex patterns during dreaming. While you can often understand and produce speech in dreams, the language tends to be less precise and logical than waking speech. Dream conversations sometimes involve understanding meanings that aren't clearly expressed in words, or hearing speech that seems meaningful but becomes nonsensical when you try to remember it after waking. The default mode network, a collection of brain regions active during rest and introspection, appears to influence dream content in subtle ways. This network may contribute to the self-referential nature of dreams and the way dream narratives often reflect your personal concerns, relationships, and identity issues. Individual differences in brain structure and function influence dreaming patterns and content. People with different personality traits, creative abilities, or psychological characteristics show different patterns of brain activation during REM sleep. Artists and other creative individuals sometimes show enhanced activity in brain regions associated with visual and spatial processing during dreams. The coordination between these various brain regions during dreaming creates experiences that are simultaneously chaotic and meaningful, bizarre and emotionally relevant. The dreaming brain essentially creates a virtual reality experience using only internal neural activity, demonstrating the remarkable creative potential of human consciousness, even in the absence of external sensory input. As we drift deeper into understanding the dreaming mind, let's explore the delicate neurochemical ballet that transforms your sleeping brain into a theater of extraordinary experiences. The chemistry of dreams involves precise changes in neurotransmitter levels that create conditions found nowhere else in human consciousness, a unique neurochemical environment where creativity flourishes, emotions intensify, and the impossible becomes possible. The neurochemical landscape of REM sleep is perhaps the most distinctive aspect of dreaming, creating a state of consciousness that differs dramatically from both waking awareness and other stages of sleep. These chemical changes orchestrate every aspect of the dream experience, from the vivid imagery to the emotional intensity to the bizarre logic. That makes dreams so uniquely fascinating. Acetylcholine stands as the primary conductor of this neurochemical symphony. During REM sleep, acetylcholine levels surge to match or even exceed those found during peak waking alertness. This powerful neurotransmitter activates multiple brain regions simultaneously, triggering the cascade of neural activity that generates dream imagery, emotions, and narratives. Acetylcholine essentially awakens the dreaming brain while leaving the body peacefully asleep. The cholinergic neurons that release acetylcholine during REM sleep are located primarily in the brainstem, particularly in regions called the pedunculopontine nucleus and laterodorsal tegmental nucleus. These neurons fire in coordinated bursts that initiate and maintain REM sleep periods, creating waves of acetylcholine that wash over the brain and trigger the complex neural processes underlying dream formation. Acetylcholine's effects during dreaming are remarkably specific and sophisticated. In the visual cortex, it triggers the generation of vivid imagery even in the absence of input from the eyes. In the limbic system, it amplifies emotional processing and memory activation. In the hippocampus, it influences how memories are accessed and recombined into novel dream scenarios. This single neurotransmitter essentially serves as the key that unlocks the full creative potential of the sleeping brain, in striking contrast to acetylcholine's surge. Three other crucial neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine, drop to their lowest levels of the entire 24-hour cycle during REM sleep. This dramatic reduction in what neuroscientists call the monoaminergic neurotransmitters creates the permissive environment necessary for dreaming to occur. Norepinephrine, released by the locus coeruleus in the brainstem, normally maintains attention, alertness, and reality testing during waking hours. Its near-complete absence during REM sleep helps explain why dreamers readily accept impossible situations and fail to notice logical inconsistencies that would be immediately apparent during waking. Without norepinephrine's reality-checking influence, the dreaming mind becomes remarkably accepting of bizarre and contradictory experiences. Serotonin, produced by the ROF nuclei, typically helps maintain emotional stability, impulse control, and logical thinking processes during waking consciousness. Its dramatic reduction during REM sleep contributes to the emotional intensity and disinhibition characteristic of dreams. Without serotonin's moderating influence, emotions in dreams can become extremely intense, and behaviors that would seem inappropriate or illogical during waking can feel perfectly natural. Histamine, released by neurons in the hypothalamus, normally promotes wakefulness and helps maintain the clear boundary between sleep and wake states. Its absence during REM sleep helps maintain the dreaming state, even while brain activity approaches waking levels. This allows for the paradoxical situation where your brain can be highly active and generating complex experiences while your body remains deeply asleep. GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, plays complex roles during dreaming. While GABA activity helps maintain sleep and prevents awakening during dreams, it also selectively inhibits certain brain regions while allowing others to become hyperactive. The motor cortex, for example, receives strong GABAergic inhibition during REM sleep, preventing dream actions from being physically enacted and protecting the dreamer from injury. Dopamine levels show interesting fluctuations during REM sleep that may influence dream content and emotional tone. Some research suggests that increased dopamine activity in certain brain circuits during dreaming may contribute to the often bizarre and creative nature of dream narratives, as well as to the sense of motivation and goal-directed behavior that characters sometimes display in dreams, even when those goals make no logical sense. The neurochemical changes of REM sleep also affect how memories are accessed and processed during dreams. The altered neurotransmitter environment allows for unusual associations between memories that might not occur during waking consciousness. This chemical flexibility may contribute to the creative problem-solving and insight generation that sometimes occurs during dreams. Cortisol, the stress hormone, shows complex patterns during sleep and dreaming. While cortisol levels typically drop during the early part of the night, they begin to rise toward morning, coinciding with longer and more intense REM periods. This may influence the emotional content of later dreams and could explain why morning dreams sometimes feel more anxious or stressful than earlier dream periods. The neurochemical environment of REM sleep also affects temperature regulation, causing the temporary loss of thermoregulation that makes dreamers briefly cold-blooded. This change occurs because the neurotransmitters normally involved in temperature control are suppressed during REM sleep, creating another unique aspect of the dreaming state. Growth hormone, while primarily released during slow-wave sleep earlier in the night, can also influence REM sleep and dreaming through its effects on brain metabolism and neural plasticity. The interplay between growth hormone and REM sleep neurotransmitters may contribute to the memory consolidation and emotional processing that occur during dreams. Adenosine, the neurochemical that builds up during waking hours and creates sleep pressure, is actively cleared from the brain during sleep, including during REM periods. This clearance process may influence dream intensity and duration, as the removal of adenosine helps maintain the neural conditions necessary for sustained dreaming. Individual differences in neurotransmitter production and sensitivity can significantly affect dream frequency, intensity, and content. Some people naturally produce more acetylcholine during REM sleep and may experience more vivid or frequent dreams. Others may have different patterns of monoamine suppression, leading to variations in dream logic and emotional intensity. Medications that affect neurotransmitter systems can dramatically alter dreaming patterns. Antidepressants that increase serotonin levels often suppress REM sleep and reduce dreaming. Beta blockers that affect norepinephrine can influence dream content and emotional tone. Even substances like caffeine and alcohol can alter the delicate neurochemical balance required for normal dreaming. The precisely orchestrated changes in brain chemistry during REM sleep represent millions of years of evolutionary fine-tuning, suggesting that the unique neurochemical environment of dreaming serves crucial biological and psychological functions. This chemical ballet creates conditions that exist nowhere else in nature, a state of consciousness, where the creative potential of the human mind can express itself free from the constraints of logic, physics, and social convention. Let us float gently into one of the most beautiful and essential functions of dreaming, the way your sleeping brain transforms the scattered experiences of waking life into lasting memories, weaving together the threads of learning, emotion, and meaning into the rich tapestry of personal history that defines who you are. In the peaceful laboratory of REM sleep, your brain conducts some of its most important work, not just storing information, but transforming it into wisdom. Memory consolidation during dreams represents one of the most thoroughly researched and well-established functions of REM sleep. Far from being mere byproducts of random brain activity, dreams appear to play crucial roles in determining which experiences become permanent memories, how those memories are organized and connected, and how they influence future learning and decision-making. During the day, as you navigate through experiences both mundane and meaningful, your brain continuously encodes information into temporary storage systems. The hippocampus, acting like a biological recording device, captures the details of events, conversations, sensations, and emotions. But this initial encoding is fragile and temporary without further processing. These memories would fade like writing on water. Sleep, and particularly REM sleep, provides the time and neurochemical conditions necessary to transform these fragile memory traces into stable, long-term memories. During dreams, your brain essentially replays and reorganizes the day's experiences, deciding what to keep, what to discard, and how to integrate new information with existing knowledge and memories. The process of memory consolidation during dreams involves complex communication between the hippocampus and the neocortex. During REM sleep, the hippocampus systematically reactivates memory traces formed during the day, sending these reactivated memories to various regions of the neocortex where they can be integrated with related memories and stored as permanent knowledge. This hippocampal neocortical dialogue during dreams is not a simple transfer of information, but a creative reconstruction process. Memories are not merely moved from temporary to permanent storage. They are actively transformed, connected to related memories, stripped of unnecessary details, and integrated into your existing understanding of the world. This is why dreams often feature familiar people, places, and situations recombined in novel ways. Research has shown that people who are deprived of REM sleep after learning new information show impaired memory consolidation compared to those who sleep normally. Students who get adequate REM sleep after studying perform better on tests than those who are sleep deprived, even when the total amount of non-REM sleep is the same. This suggests that the specific neurochemical conditions of REM sleep are crucial for optimal memory formation. The content of dreams often reflects this memory consolidation process directly. Studies have found that people frequently dream about activities they engaged in during the day, problems they were working on, or emotional situations they encountered. The dreaming brain seems to prioritize recent experiences that were emotionally significant, challenging, or relevant to ongoing concerns for special processing during sleep. Procedural memories for skills like playing music, riding a bicycle, or performing complex motor tasks appear to benefit particularly from REM sleep consolidation. Musicians who sleep after practicing often show improvement in their performance the next day, even without additional practice. Athletes who get adequate REM sleep after training sessions show better retention of new skills and techniques. The emotional content of memories plays a crucial role in determining which experiences get consolidated during dreams. The amygdala, which becomes highly active during REM sleep, appears to tag emotionally significant memories for special processing. This is why emotionally charged events, both positive and negative, are more likely to be remembered long-term and more likely to appear in dream content. Dreams also appear to play important roles in creative problem-solving and insight generation through their memory consolidation functions. By recombining existing memories in novel ways and making unexpected connections between disparate pieces of information, dreams can sometimes lead to creative breakthroughs and problem solutions that weren't apparent during waking thought. The famous example of Kekel discovering the ring structure of benzene in a dream illustrates this creative aspect of dream-based memory consolidation. Many other scientists, artists, and inventors have reported receiving insights or solutions to problems through dreams, suggesting that the memory reorganization that occurs during REM sleep can facilitate creative thinking and innovation. The process of memory consolidation in dreams also involves what researchers call systems consolidation, the gradual transfer of memories from dependence on the hippocampus to storage in neocortical areas. This process can take weeks, months, or even years, with dreams playing ongoing roles in strengthening and refining memories over extended periods. Different types of memories appear to be consolidated through different sleep stages and dream states. Declarative memories, facts, events, and explicit information seem to benefit most from slow-wave sleep in the first part of the night, while procedural and emotional memories benefit more from REM sleep later in the night. This suggests that optimal memory consolidation requires experiencing complete sleep cycles, with adequate amounts of both sleep types. The memory consolidation that occurs during dreams is selective rather than comprehensive. Your brain doesn't simply record everything that happened during the day, but makes sophisticated decisions about what information is worth preserving long-term. Irrelevant details are often discarded while meaningful patterns and relationships are strengthened and elaborated. This selective consolidation process helps explain why dream narratives often feel meaningful. Even when they involve bizarre or impossible events, the dreaming brain may be extracting emotional or psychological significance from experiences and expressing that significance through symbolic or metaphorical dream imagery. Even when the literal details of the original experience are not preserved, individual differences in memory consolidation during dreams may contribute to variations in learning ability, creativity, and psychological well-being. Some people appear to be naturally more efficient at consolidating memories during sleep, leading to better academic performance and faster skill acquisition. Others may benefit from specific sleep hygiene practices that optimize REM sleep quality and duration. The memory consolidation functions of dreams also appear to be important for emotional regulation and psychological health. By processing emotional memories during sleep, dreams may help integrate difficult experiences, reduce their emotional impact over time, and prevent the development of intrusive memories or trauma symptoms. This suggests that healthy dreaming is not just important for learning and memory, but for overall mental health. Age-related changes in sleep and dreaming may contribute to some of the memory problems associated with aging. Older adults typically experience reductions in REM sleep duration and intensity, which could affect their ability to consolidate new memories effectively. Understanding these changes may lead to interventions that can help preserve memory function throughout the lifespan. The relationship between dreams and memory consolidation represents one of the most compelling examples of how sleep serves essential biological and psychological functions. Rather than being a passive state of rest, sleep emerges as an active period of memory processing, learning, and mental organization that is crucial for optimal cognitive function and psychological well-being. As our gentle exploration continues, we drift into the tender realm where dreams serve as the mind's own therapy session, providing a safe space for processing the complex emotions that color our waking lives. In the sanctuary of sleep, your brain carefully tends to your emotional well-being, working through fears, joys, conflicts, and hopes with a wisdom that often surpasses conscious understanding. The emotional intensity that characterizes many dreams is not accidental, but reflects one of dreaming's most important functions, helping your psyche process, integrate, and adapt to the emotional challenges of daily life. During REM sleep, your brain creates a protected environment where emotions can be experienced, explored, and resolved without the constraints and consequences of waking reality. The amygdala, your brain's primary emotion processing center, becomes extraordinarily active during REM sleep, sometimes even more active than during waking hours. This heightened emotional processing center works in concert with other limbic system structures to create the intense feelings that often characterize dreams. Far from being overwhelming, this emotional intensity serves crucial psychological functions. During dreams, your brain can safely simulate threatening or challenging situations, allowing you to experience and process fear, anxiety, anger, or sadness in a context where no real harm can occur. This emotional simulation may help prepare you for handling similar situations in waking life, building emotional resilience and coping strategies through the safe practice that dreams provide. The reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex during REM sleep creates conditions where emotions can be experienced more directly and intensely than during waking consciousness, without the moderating influence of logical analysis and social inhibition. Dreams allow for the full expression and processing of emotions that might be suppressed or minimized during daily life. Research has shown that people who are prevented from entering REM sleep become increasingly emotionally reactive and have difficulty regulating their emotions during waking hours. This suggests that the emotional processing that occurs during dreams is essential for maintaining emotional balance and psychological stability. Dreams essentially serve as a pressure release valve for emotional tension. The content of emotionally intense dreams often reflects current stresses, unresolved conflicts, or deep-seated psychological concerns. Dreams may present scenarios that allow you to confront fears, practice responses to challenging situations, or explore different perspectives on emotional problems. The symbolic language of dreams can sometimes express emotional truths that are difficult to articulate in waking consciousness. Nightmares, while distressing, represent an important form of emotional processing through dreams. These intense, frightening dreams often occur when your psyche is working to process traumatic experiences, overwhelming stress, or deep-seated fears, rather than being mere psychological noise. Nightmares may represent your mind's attempt to master threatening experiences through repeated simulation and processing. The phenomenon of recurring nightmares suggests that some emotional processing through dreams requires multiple sessions to achieve resolution. Like working through a difficult problem, your brain may need to revisit and rework traumatic or challenging experiences multiple times before achieving psychological integration and healing. Post-traumatic stress disorder often involves disruptions in normal dream processing, with traumatic memories intruding into dreams in ways that re-traumatize rather than heal. Understanding the normal emotional processing functions of dreams has led to therapeutic approaches that work to restore healthy dreaming patterns as part of trauma treatment. The emotional regulation that occurs during dreams extends beyond processing negative emotions to include the integration and consolidation of positive emotional experiences. Dreams about joyful events, loving relationships, or personal achievements may help strengthen these positive memories and their associated emotional benefits, contributing to overall psychological well-being. Children's dreams often reflect their developmental stage and the emotional challenges they're facing as they grow and learn about the world. The monsters that populate children's nightmares may represent their attempts to process fears about separation, powerlessness, or the unknown. As children develop better emotional regulation skills, their dreams typically become less frightening and more diverse in content. The social and relational aspects of dreams often reflect emotional processing related to relationships and social connections. Dreams frequently feature interactions with family members, friends, colleagues, or romantic partners, providing opportunities to explore relationship dynamics, practice social skills, or work through interpersonal conflicts in a safe psychological space. Dreams about deceased loved ones often serve important emotional processing functions related to grief and loss. These dreams may help the bereaved maintain emotional connections with lost loved ones while gradually adapting to their absence. The comforting or distressing nature of such dreams often reflects the dreamer's stage in the grieving process. The timing of emotional dreams throughout the night follows patterns that reflect the brain's processing priorities. Early dreams often focus on recent emotional experiences, while later dreams in the morning hours may integrate these recent experiences with older emotional memories and deeper psychological themes. Individual differences in emotional dream content may reflect personality traits, coping styles, and emotional processing patterns. Some people naturally have more emotionally intense dreams, while others may process emotions through more subtle or symbolic dream imagery. These differences may influence how effectively people can use their dreams for emotional regulation and psychological healing. The emotional processing functions of dreams highlight the importance of getting adequate REM sleep. For psychological health, people who consistently don't get enough REM sleep may find themselves less emotionally resilient, more reactive to stress, and less able to process and integrate challenging emotional experiences. Medications that suppress REM sleep, including some antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, may interfere with the natural emotional processing that occurs during dreams. While these medications can be helpful for managing severe symptoms, understanding their effects on dream-based emotional processing may help inform treatment decisions and highlight the need for other forms of emotional support. The cultural and spiritual traditions that view dreams as sources of wisdom and healing may reflect an intuitive understanding of dreams' emotional processing functions. Many therapeutic approaches now incorporate dream work as a way of accessing and processing emotions that may be difficult to reach through waking consciousness alone. Learning to pay attention to the emotional themes and patterns in your dreams can provide valuable insights into your psychological state and emotional processing needs. While not all dreams require interpretation or analysis, understanding the emotional work that dreams perform can help you appreciate this nightly gift of psychological healing and growth. Our peaceful journey now carries us into one of the most wondrous aspects of dreaming, the extraordinary creativity that emerges when the logical constraints of waking consciousness dissolve, allowing the mind to make connections, generate insights, and create solutions that might never arise during ordinary thinking. In dreams, your brain becomes an artist, inventor, and visionary, painting with the palette of memory and imagination to create experiences of startling originality and beauty. The creative potential of dreams has been recognized throughout human history, with countless innovations, artistic works, and scientific discoveries attributed to insights received during sleep. From Kekul's discovery of the benzene ring structure to Paul McCartney's melody for Yesterday. From Mary Shelley's inspiration for Frankenstein to Niels Bohr's model of atomic structure, dreams have served as a wellspring of human creativity and innovation. The neurobiological conditions of REM sleep create an ideal environment for creative thinking and problem-solving. The reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, which normally imposes logical constraints and linear thinking patterns, allows for more flexible and associative thought processes. Meanwhile, the heightened activity in visual and emotional brain regions provides rich material for creative synthesis. During dreams, your brain gains access to vast networks of memories, emotions, and associations that might not be readily available during focused waking consciousness. The altered neurochemical environment of REM sleep allows for unusual connections between disparate pieces of information, leading to novel combinations and insights that can seem startlingly original and useful. The random activation of neural networks during REM sleep may serve as a creativity-enhancing mechanism, forcing the brain to make sense of unusual combinations of activated memories and associations. This process of creating coherent narratives from random neural activity may strengthen the brain's ability to find meaningful patterns and generate creative solutions. Research has shown that people who get adequate REM sleep after working on creative problems often perform better on tests of creative thinking than those who are sleep-deprived, or who only get non-REM sleep. The specific conditions of REM sleep appear to facilitate the kind of loose, associative thinking that underlies creativity and innovation. The visual cortex's heightened activity during dreams contributes significantly to creative dream content. Artists often report dreams filled with vivid imagery that inspires their waking work, paintings, sculptures, or designs that first appeared in dream visions. The brain's ability to generate complex, original visual imagery during dreams demonstrates the remarkable creative potential of human consciousness. Musical creativity also flourishes in dreams, with composers and musicians frequently reporting dreams containing original melodies, harmonies, or rhythmic patterns. The auditory processing regions of the brain can create remarkably sophisticated musical experiences during sleep, sometimes producing compositions that rival conscious musical creativity. Writers and poets have long drawn inspiration from their dreams, finding in sleep's narratives the seeds of stories, characters, and themes that might never emerge through deliberate effort. The storytelling aspect of dreams, the brain's ability to weave disparate elements into coherent, if sometimes bizarre, narratives, demonstrate sophisticated creative abilities that operate outside conscious control. The problem-solving creativity of dreams appears to work through what researchers call remote associations, finding connections between concepts or ideas that seem unrelated during normal thinking. The relaxed cognitive constraints of REM sleep allow the mind to explore these distant connections, sometimes leading to breakthrough insights and solutions. The default mode network, a collection of brain regions active during rest and introspection, shows altered patterns of connectivity during REM sleep that may contribute to creative thinking. This network appears to be important for generating novel ideas and making unexpected connections between different domains of knowledge. Lucid dreamers, those who become aware they daydreaming, while still in the dream state, sometimes report being able to consciously direct their dreams toward creative exploration. They may seek out dream characters for advice, request specific creative content, or use the dream state as a laboratory for testing creative ideas without real-world constraints. The symbolic and metaphorical nature of much dream content reflects the creative mind's tendency to express abstract concepts through concrete imagery and narrative. This symbolic thinking can provide new perspectives on problems and challenges, offering solutions expressed through the rich metaphorical language that dreams speak so fluently. Individual differences in creative dream content may reflect variations in creative ability, personality traits, and life experiences. Highly creative individuals often report more vivid, unusual, and inspiring dreams, suggesting that creativity in dreams and waking life may share common neural mechanisms and be mutually reinforcing. The role of emotions in creative dreaming cannot be understated. The heightened emotional activity during REM sleep may provide the motivational energy needed to pursue creative insights received in dreams. The emotional significance of dream creativity may help ensure that these insights are remembered and valued upon waking. Cultural and historical factors influence how dream creativity is perceived and utilized. Societies that value and pay attention to dreams may be more likely to benefit from their creative potential, while cultures that dismiss dreams as meaningless may miss opportunities for innovation and insight. The timing of creative dreams throughout the night follows patterns that may reflect different types of creative processing. Early REM periods may focus on integrating recent creative experiences, while later dreams may synthesize broader patterns and generate more novel creative insights. Sleep laboratory studies have found that people awakened during REM sleep often report dream content that shows enhanced creativity compared to reports from other sleep stages. This suggests that the specific neurobiological conditions of REM sleep are particularly conducive to creative thinking and insight generation. The creative potential of dreams highlights the importance of maintaining healthy sleep patterns for anyone engaged in creative work. Artists, writers, scientists, inventors, and others whose work depends on creativity may find that prioritizing adequate REM sleep enhances their creative output and problem-solving abilities. Dream journals and other methods of capturing and reflecting on dream content can help make the creative insights of dreams more accessible to waking consciousness. Many creative individuals maintain dream records specifically to preserve and develop the creative material that emerges during sleep. The study of creativity in dreams also provides insights into the nature of human consciousness and the sources of innovation. Understanding how the sleeping brain generates novel ideas and solutions may inform approaches to enhancing creativity during waking hours and developing more effective methods for creative problem solving. As we drift deeper into the mysterious landscape of the dreaming mind, we encounter one of its most fascinating features, the peculiar logic that governs dream narratives, where impossible events seem perfectly natural, where time flows like honey in unexpected directions, and where the ordinary rules of cause and effect dissolve into the fluid creativity of sleep consciousness. Understanding why dreams follow their own strange logic reveals profound truths about how consciousness itself is constructed. In the realm of dreams, you might find yourself flying through childhood neighborhoods while having conversations with long-deceased relatives about problems from your current job. And this bizarre combination of elements feels completely natural and meaningful. The dreaming mind readily accepts impossibilities that would immediately alert your waking consciousness that something was amiss. This suspension of logical thinking during dreams results primarily from the decreased activity in your prefrontal cortex during REM sleep. This brain region, which serves as your mind's executive control center during waking hours, normally maintains logical consistency, monitors for contradictions, and alerts you when something doesn't make sense. With its activity significantly reduced during dreams, these reality-checking functions are essentially offline, without prefrontal oversight. Your dreaming mind loses the ability to maintain what psychologists call metacognition, awareness of your own thinking processes. During dreams, you rarely step back and evaluate whether your experiences make logical sense. You simply accept whatever unfolds, no matter how bizarre or impossible it might be. The altered neurochemical environment of REM sleep contributes to this acceptance of dreamer logic. The dramatic reduction in norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine neurotransmitters that normally support critical thinking and reality testing creates conditions where the mind becomes remarkably uncritical and accepting of unusual experiences. Time operates according to its own mysterious rules in dreams. Events that would take hours in real life can unfold in moments, while simple actions can seem to stretch endlessly. Past, present, and future blend together as the linear progression of time gives way to the associative, emotional logic of the unconscious mind. You might experience your childhood, your current life, and imagine future scenarios all within the same dream narrative. The dreaming brain's approach to identity and relationships follows similarly fluid rules. People in dreams often blend characteristics of multiple individuals from your life, or familiar people may appear in completely different roles or contexts than you know them. Your own identity in dreams can shift and change, sometimes being yourself, sometimes being someone else entirely, without this causing any confusion or concern within the dream. Spatial relationships and physical laws become wonderfully flexible in dreams. Rooms can be simultaneously familiar and impossible, larger on the inside than the outside, or connected in ways that defy architectural logic. You might walk through walls, breathe underwater, or find that familiar places have acquired impossible features like staircases that lead nowhere, or doors that open onto landscapes from your distant past. The narrative structure of dreams often follows what researchers call dream logic, a form of storytelling, where transitions between scenes happen without explanation, where characters appear and disappear without introduction, and where plot developments follow emotional rather than logical progression. This narrative style reflects the dreaming brain's focus on emotional and associative connections, rather than linear causality. Memory works differently in dreams, with the hippocampus and associated structures creating unusual patterns of memory access and integration. Recent experiences blend with distant memories. Factual information mixes with emotional associations, and the normal organization of memory into coherent, chronological sequences gives way to more fluid, associative patterns. Language in dreams often operates by its own special rules as well. Conversations in dreams may convey meaning through emotional or contextual cues, rather than through precise semantic content. You might understand what someone is saying in a dream even though their words are unclear or nonsensical when you try to remember them after waking. The visual processing that creates dream imagery follows patterns that differ significantly from waking perception. Objects in dreams may change their appearance mid-observation. Faces may shift between different people, and scenes may transform seamlessly from one setting to another. The visual cortex has activity during REM sleep creates imagery that is vivid and compelling, but not constrained by the consistency requirements of external perception. Attention and focus operate differently in dreams, with the mind jumping between different aspects of the dream experience without the sustained, directed attention characteristic of waking consciousness. This scattered attention pattern may contribute to the fragmentary nature of dream recall, and the way dream narratives often shift focus abruptly between different elements. The emotional logic of dreams often takes precedence over rational logic, with dream narratives following the psychological significance of events, rather than their practical implications. A minor embarrassment in a dream might transform into a life-threatening situation, while genuinely dangerous dream scenarios might feel amusing or insignificant, reflecting the emotional rather than rational processing priorities of the dreaming mind. Individual differences in dream logic may reflect variations in brain structure, neurotransmitter function, and cognitive style. Some people report dreams that are more logically coherent, while others experience dreams with more extreme violations of normal logic and causality. These differences may relate to variations in prefrontal cortex function during REM sleep. The development of logical thinking abilities across the lifespan influences dream content and structure. Children's dreams often show even more flexible logic than adult dreams, while older adults may show changes in dream logic that reflect age-related changes in brain function. Lucid dreamers, those who become aware they daydreaming while still in the dream, often report fascinating interactions with dream logic. They may recognize that they're in a dream because of logical inconsistencies, yet find that the dream continues to resist normal logical constraints, even after they become aware of its nature. The study of dream logic provides insights into how the brain constructs the experience of reality during both sleeping and waking states. Understanding the mechanisms that create the sense of logical coherence during waking consciousness helps scientists better understand the nature of normal awareness and the ways that consciousness can be altered or disrupted. The acceptance of impossibility in dreams may serve adaptive functions, allowing the mind to explore solutions and scenarios that would be dismissed too quickly. During logical waking thought, this suspension of critical thinking may facilitate the creative and problem-solving benefits that dreams can provide. Cultural factors may influence dream logic as well, with people from different cultural backgrounds sometimes reporting dreams that follow different patterns of narrative structure and logical organization. These differences may reflect variations in storytelling traditions, belief systems, and cognitive frameworks that influence how dreams are constructed and remembered. Let us float gently toward one of the most extraordinary phenomena in the realm of sleep consciousness, lucid dreaming, the remarkable state where awareness blooms within the dream itself, creating a unique form of consciousness where the dreamer recognizes they are dreaming while remaining peacefully asleep. This fascinating intersection of sleeping and waking awareness offers profound insights into the nature of consciousness itself and the remarkable plasticity of human mental states. Lucid dreaming represents a hybrid state of consciousness that combines elements of REM sleep with aspects of waking awareness. In this state, dreamers maintain the vivid imagery, emotional intensity, and creative flexibility of normal dreams while simultaneously possessing the self-awareness, critical thinking, and sometimes even volitional control more characteristic of waking consciousness. The neuroscience of lucid dreaming reveals fascinating patterns of brain activity that differ from both normal REM sleep and waking consciousness. Brain imaging studies have shown that during lucid dreams, the prefrontal cortex, particularly areas involved in self-awareness and metacognition, becomes more active than during normal dreams. Though not as active as during full waking consciousness, this partial reactivation of prefrontal regions during lucid dreams appears to restore some of the reality testing and self-monitoring functions that are typically suppressed during normal REM sleep. Lucid dreamers can recognize logical inconsistencies, maintain awareness of their identity and circumstances, and sometimes exercise conscious control over their dream experiences. The parietal cortex also shows increased activity during lucid dreams, particularly in regions associated with self-awareness and the sense of agency. This heightened parietal activity may contribute to the lucid dreamer's ability to maintain a sense of self within the dream while recognizing the dream nature of their experience. Gamma wave activity, high-frequency brain waves associated with conscious awareness and attention, increases significantly during lucid REM sleep compared to normal REM sleep. This gamma activity may serve as a neural signature of the heightened awareness that characterizes lucid dreaming, representing the brain's ability to maintain conscious attention even within the altered state of REM sleep. The neurochemical environment during lucid dreams appears to represent a unique balance between the neurochemical profiles of REM sleep and waking consciousness. While acetylcholine levels remain high as in normal REM sleep, there may be subtle increases in other neurotransmitters like norepinephrine and serotonin that support the enhanced awareness and control characteristic of lucid dreaming. Individual differences in lucid dreaming frequency appear to be related to variations in brain structure and function. Some people naturally experience lucid dreams regularly, while others rarely or never have them spontaneously. These differences may reflect variations in the connectivity between prefrontal and other brain regions, as well as individual differences in self-awareness and metacognitive abilities. The ability to achieve lucid dreaming can be enhanced through various training techniques and practices. Reality testing, regularly questioning whether one is dreaming during waking hours, can increase the likelihood of achieving lucidity during dreams. Meditation practices that enhance self-awareness and attention may also promote lucid dreaming abilities. Dream journals can help develop dream awareness by improving dream recall and helping dreamers recognize common dream themes and patterns. The mnemonic induction of lucid dreams mild technique involves setting an intention to recognize the next occurrence of dreaming, often combined with reality testing and dream recall practices. The Wake Back to Bed WBTB technique involves waking up during a REM period, staying awake briefly while focusing on lucid dreaming intentions, then returning to sleep. This method takes advantage of the natural tendency for REM periods to become longer and more intense in the later part of the night. Lucid dreamers often report being able to consciously influence their dream content, from simple actions like flying or changing dream scenery to more complex manipulations, like summoning specific dream characters or exploring particular themes. However, the degree of control varies greatly between individuals and even between different lucid dreams. For the same person, the experience of consciousness during lucid dreams raises fascinating questions about the nature of awareness itself. Lucid dreamers report a sense of being fully conscious and aware, while simultaneously experiencing the vivid hallucinations and altered logic of the dream state. This suggests that consciousness is more flexible and multifaceted than traditionally assumed. Research into lucid dreaming has potential applications for treating nightmares and recurring disturbing dreams. Lucid dreamers can learn to recognize when they are having a nightmare and either wake themselves up or consciously change the dream content to make it less distressing. This technique, called lucid dream therapy, has shown promise for people suffering from chronic nightmares. The study of lucid dreaming also provides unique opportunities for dream research, as lucid dreamers can communicate with researchers during REM sleep through predetermined eye movement signals. This allows scientists to study the timing and characteristics of dream experiences with unprecedented precision. Some cultures and spiritual traditions have long recognized and cultivated lucid dreaming abilities as part of spiritual or personal development practices. Tibetan Buddhism includes dream yoga practices that use lucid dreaming as a tool for spiritual insight and preparation for the death process. The philosophical implications of lucid dreaming extend to questions about the nature of reality, consciousness, and free will. The ability to maintain awareness and exercise some degree of control within the subjective reality of dreams challenges traditional boundaries between different states of consciousness and suggests that our understanding of awareness and volition may be more complex than previously thought. As our gentle exploration carries us into the darker territories of the dreaming mind, we encounter those intense, frightening experiences we call nightmares. Dreams so vivid and disturbing that they can wake us with racing hearts and lingering anxiety. Yet even these seemingly unwelcome visitors serve important purposes, representing your brain's attempts to process fears, prepare for threats, and work through psychological challenges in the safe laboratory of sleep. Nightmares are not mere accidents of brain chemistry, but appear to serve crucial evolutionary and psychological functions. From an evolutionary perspective, nightmares may represent an ancient threat simulation system that helped our ancestors prepare for dangerous situations by repeatedly practicing responses to fearful scenarios in the safety of sleep. The threat simulation theory of nightmares suggests that these frightening dreams serve as a kind of virtual reality training system, allowing the brain to rehearse responses to dangerous or challenging situations without the risks associated with actual encounters. By experiencing and responding to threats in dreams, we may develop better coping strategies and emotional resilience for handling real-world challenges. The amygdala, your brain's fear processing center, becomes particularly active during nightmares, generating the intense emotions that characterize these experiences. This heightened amygdala activity appears to be part of the brain's natural fear processing and emotional regulation system, helping to desensitize threatening memories and reduce their emotional impact over time. Nightmares often reflect current stresses, unresolved traumas, or deep-seated psychological concerns. The content of nightmares frequently relates to situations that generate anxiety in waking life, relationship conflicts, work pressures, health concerns, or existential fears. By processing these concerns through the symbolic language of dreams, nightmares may help reduce their psychological impact. Children experience nightmares more frequently than adults, which may reflect their ongoing psychological development and their brain's need to process new fears and uncertainties as they learn about the world. Common childhood nightmare themes: monsters, being chased, separation from parents often reflect developmental challenges and fears appropriate to different stages of growth. The frequency and intensity of nightmares can be influenced by various factors, including stress levels, trauma history, medications, sleep disorders, and even diet. People experiencing high levels of stress or those with post-traumatic stress disorder often report more frequent and intense nightmares, suggesting that these dreams may be part of the brain's attempt to process overwhelming experiences. Post-traumatic nightmares represent a special category, where the normal processing functions of dreams may become disrupted. Instead of helping to integrate and resolve traumatic experiences, these nightmares may re-traumatize the dreamer by repeatedly exposing them to vivid recreations of traumatic events. This suggests that while nightmares normally serve adaptive functions, they can become maladaptive under certain circumstances. The recurring nature of some nightmares may indicate that the brain is working persistently to process particular fears or concerns that have not yet been successfully integrated, like a psychological wound that needs repeated attention to heal properly. Recurring nightmares may represent the mind's ongoing attempts to master difficult experiences or emotions. Research has shown that people who experience frequent nightmares often show increased creativity and emotional sensitivity during waking hours. This suggests that the same neural mechanisms that generate frightening dreams may also contribute to enhanced imagination and emotional awareness, representing a complex trade-off between vulnerability and creative potential. The timing of nightmares throughout the night follows patterns that reflect different types of fear processing. Nightmares occurring early in the night, often during slow-wave sleep, may relate more to current stresses and anxieties. Those occurring during REM sleep later in the night may involve more complex emotional processing and integration of fear-related memories. Sleep paralysis, a frightening experience where people briefly wake up unable to move while still experiencing dream imagery, represents another form of fear-related sleep phenomenon. These experiences, often accompanied by sensations of presence or threat, may reflect the brain's difficulty transitioning between sleep and wake states while fear processing systems remain active. Cultural factors significantly influence nightmare content and interpretation. Different cultures have developed various explanations for nightmares and different approaches to dealing with them, from protective rituals and talismans to specific therapeutic practices designed to reduce nightmare frequency and intensity. Treatment approaches for problematic nightmares include imagery rehearsal therapy, where patients practice changing nightmare scenarios during waking hours, and lucid dreaming training, which can help people gain some control over nightmare content. These approaches work by harnessing the brain's natural plasticity to modify dream patterns and reduce distress. Medications can both cause and treat nightmares, depending on their effects on neurotransmitter systems and sleep architecture. Some antidepressants may reduce nightmare frequency by suppressing REM sleep, while others may increase nightmares as a side effect. Understanding these medication effects is important for managing nightmare disorders. The relationship between nightmares and physical health is complex, with some research suggesting that frequent nightmares may be associated with increased risk of various health problems, possibly due to the chronic stress and sleep disruption they can cause. This highlights the importance of addressing persistent nightmare problems rather than simply accepting them as normal. Lifestyle factors can influence nightmare frequency and intensity. Stress management, regular sleep schedules, avoiding certain foods or substances before bedtime, and creating positive bedtime routines may all help reduce nightmare occurrence. These interventions work by supporting healthy sleep architecture and reducing the psychological triggers that can lead to disturbing dreams. Understanding nightmares as serving potentially adaptive functions, even when they're distressing, can help reduce the secondary anxiety that often accompanies frequent nightmares. Rather than viewing these dreams as purely negative experiences, recognizing their role in emotional processing and fear resolution can provide a more balanced perspective on their significance. The study of nightmares continues to reveal important insights into fear processing, emotional regulation, and the relationship between sleep and mental health. As our understanding of these complex phenomena grows, new approaches to prevention and treatment continue to emerge, offering hope for those whose sleep is regularly disrupted by frightening dreams. Our peaceful journey now carries us across the rich tapestry of human cultures, where we discover that dreams have been treasured, interpreted, and woven into the spiritual and practical life of societies throughout history. From ancient civilizations to modern indigenous communities, from Eastern philosophies to Western psychology, the human experience of dreaming has inspired countless ways of understanding these mysterious, nightly journeys of the mind. Across cultures and throughout history, dreams have been viewed as far more than simple neurological phenomena. They have served as sources of divine communication, prophetic visions, healing experiences, and bridges between the world of the living and the realm of ancestors and spirits. These diverse cultural perspectives remind us that the meaning and significance of dreams extend far beyond their biological functions. Ancient Egyptian civilization held dreams in such high regard that they developed elaborate systems for dream interpretation and built temples dedicated to dream incubation practices, where people would sleep in sacred spaces specifically to receive guidance through dreams. Egyptian dream books, some dating back over 3,000 years, provided detailed interpretations of dream symbols and their meanings for daily life and future events. The ancient Greeks similarly honored dreams as messages from the gods, establishing dream temples called Asclepions, where people would come to receive healing dreams from Asclepius, the god of medicine. The practice of dream incubation in these temples represented one of the earliest forms of what we might now call dream therapy, where dreams were actively sought for their healing and guidance potential. Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Plato grappled with questions about the nature and meaning of dreams that continue to intrigue us today. Aristotle proposed that dreams might represent the mind's processing of sensory impressions from the day, an insight that remarkably anticipates modern understanding of memory consolidation during sleep. Indigenous cultures around the world have developed sophisticated understandings of dreams that often emphasize their spiritual and communal significance. Many Native American traditions view dreams as journeys of the soul, opportunities for communication with animal spirits, ancestors, and the natural world. Dream sharing and interpretation often play important roles in community decision-making and spiritual guidance. The Aboriginal Australian concept of dream time represents one of the most profound cultural engagements with the dreaming realm, where dreams are understood not just as individual experiences, but as connections to the foundational stories and spiritual geography that created the world. In this tradition, dreams provide access to ancestral wisdom and the ongoing creation of reality itself. Hindu and Buddhist traditions have developed elaborate understandings of dream consciousness as related to different levels of awareness and spiritual development. The Upanishads describe dreams as one of the states of consciousness, while Tibetan Buddhism includes sophisticated practices of dream yoga, designed to maintain awareness during the dream state as preparation for spiritual liberation. Islamic tradition honors dreams as potential forms of divine communication, with the Quran and Hadith containing numerous references to meaningful dreams and their interpretation. The Prophet Muhammad spoke of dreams as 1/46th part of prophecy, and Islamic culture has maintained rich traditions of dream interpretation and spiritual guidance through dream experiences. Chinese traditional medicine and philosophy have long recognized dreams as reflecting the state of the body's energy systems and emotional balance. Traditional Chinese medicine includes diagnostic techniques based on dream content and uses various approaches to promote healthy dreaming as part of overall health and spiritual cultivation. Jewish mystical traditions, particularly Kabbalah, view dreams as opportunities for the soul to access higher levels of spiritual reality. The Talmud contains extensive discussions of dreams and their interpretations with sophisticated understandings of how dreams reflect both psychological states and spiritual communications. African traditional cultures have developed diverse approaches to dreams that often emphasize their role in community healing, ancestral communication, and spiritual guidance. Many African traditions include specialized dream interpreters and healing practices that work with dream content to address individual and community needs. The rise of modern psychology in the West brought new perspectives on dreams, beginning with Freud's revolutionary interpretation of dreams and continuing through Jung's work on collective unconscious and archetypal dream imagery. These psychological approaches shifted focus from external spiritual meanings to internal psychological processes and personal growth. Contemporary Western culture shows interesting tensions between scientific and spiritual approaches to dreams. While neuroscience provides increasingly detailed understanding of the biological mechanisms of dreaming, many people continue to seek meaning and guidance from their dreams, often blending scientific knowledge with personal or spiritual interpretations. Cross-cultural studies of dream content have revealed both universal themes and culturally specific patterns. Common dream experiences like falling, being chased, or flying appear across cultures, suggesting shared aspects of human psychology, while specific dream symbols and interpretations often reflect particular cultural values and beliefs. The globalization of culture has led to interesting hybrid approaches to dream understanding, where traditional cultural interpretations blend with modern psychological insights. Many contemporary dream workers draw from multiple cultural traditions to create integrated approaches to dream exploration and meaning-making. Gender roles and expectations within different cultures significantly influence dream content and interpretation. Some cultures have specific traditions around women's dreams, men's dreams, or dreams during particular life stages, reflecting cultural beliefs about gender, power, and spiritual authority. The role of dreams in artistic and literary traditions varies dramatically across cultures, from the dreamlike poetry of surrealist movements to the dream narratives found in indigenous storytelling traditions. These artistic expressions often serve to preserve and transmit cultural understandings of dream significance and meaning. Modern technology and urbanization have influenced both dream content and cultural attitudes toward dreaming. Some researchers suggest that modern lifestyle factors may be changing the nature of dreams themselves, while others note shifts in how different generations and cultures view the importance and meaning of dream experiences. The therapeutic use of dreams varies significantly across cultures, from traditional healing practices that work directly with dream content to modern psychotherapy approaches that use dreams for insight and personal growth. These different therapeutic traditions offer diverse tools for working with dreams as sources of healing and guidance. Understanding cultural perspectives on dreams enriches our appreciation of these universal human experiences while reminding us that the scientific understanding of dreaming represents just one approach among many valid ways of engaging with the mystery and meaning of our nightly journeys into the realm of sleep consciousness. Let's drift gently into the enchanted realm of children's dreams, where young minds weave their first understandings of reality, emotion, and imagination into the fabric of sleep consciousness. The dreams of childhood represent something magical and profound, not just miniature versions of adult dreams, but unique expressions of developing consciousness that change and evolve as young brains grow and learn about the world around them. Children's dreams differ dramatically from adult dreams in content, emotional intensity, and developmental function. While adult dreams often process complex life experiences and abstract concerns, children's dreams typically reflect their immediate developmental challenges, learning to navigate relationships, understanding emotions, processing new experiences, and gradually building their sense of self and place in the world. The neurobiological development that occurs during childhood creates unique conditions for dreaming. Young brains spend much more time in REM sleep than adult brains. Newborns spend approximately 50% of their sleep time in REM, compared to about 20 to 25% for adults. This extended REM sleep appears to support the rapid brain development and learning that characterize early life. Very young children, typically under age 5, often report dreams that are shorter and simpler than those of older children and adults. These early dreams frequently feature animals, familiar people, and basic activities like eating or playing. The content tends to be more static and less narrative-driven than the complex stories that characterize adult dreams. As children's cognitive abilities develop, their dreams become more sophisticated and story-like. By age 7 or 8, children's dreams begin to resemble adult dreams in their narrative complexity, emotional intensity, and symbolic content. This evolution appears to parallel the development of language skills, memory systems, and abstract thinking abilities. The prefrontal cortex, which doesn't fully mature until the mid-20s, shows particular patterns of development that influence children's dreams. The gradual maturation of this brain region affects how children process emotions, understand social relationships, and maintain self-awareness, all factors that significantly influence dream content and meaning. Children's nightmares often reflect age-appropriate developmental fears and concerns. Toddlers may dream about separation from parents, preschoolers about monsters or imaginary threats, and school-age children about social situations, performance anxiety, or more realistic dangers. These nightmare themes typically shift as children develop new cognitive abilities and encounter different life challenges. The emotional intensity of children's dreams can be particularly striking, with young dreamers experiencing fears, joys, and anxieties with a vividness that sometimes surprises adults. This emotional intensity may reflect children's still developing emotional regulation systems and their ongoing work of learning to understand and manage complex feelings. Sleep terrors, which primarily affect young children, represent a different phenomenon from nightmares. These episodes, which occur during deep non-REM sleep, involve intense fear responses without complex dream narratives. Children experiencing sleep terrors typically don't remember the episodes, unlike nightmares, which are often vividly recalled. The development of theory of mind. Children's growing understanding that other people have their own thoughts, feelings, and perspectives significantly influences dream content. As children become better able to understand others' mental states, their dreams increasingly feature complex social interactions and relationship dynamics. Children's dreams often serve important functions in processing new learning and experiences. School-age children may dream about classroom situations, friendships, or academic challenges as their brains work to integrate new information and social experiences. These dreams may help consolidate learning and develop problem-solving skills. The role of imagination in children's dreams is particularly fascinating. Young children's rich fantasy lives often blur the boundaries between imagination and reality, and their dreams may incorporate imaginary friends, magical elements, and creative scenarios that reflect their developing capacity for symbolic thinking and creativity. Cultural factors significantly influence children's dream development, with different cultures providing different frameworks for understanding and discussing dreams. Some cultures encourage children to share and explore their dreams, while others may minimize their importance. These cultural attitudes can affect how children relate to their dream experiences. Throughout their lives, gender differences in children's dreams begin to emerge as children develop awareness of gender roles and expectations. Research suggests that boys and girls may show different patterns in dream content, emotional themes, and responses to dream experiences, though these differences are often subtle and influenced by cultural factors. The relationship between children's waking concerns and their dream content is often more direct and obvious than in adults. A child worried about starting school may dream repeatedly about classroom scenarios, while one experiencing family changes may dream about home and family relationships. This direct connection makes children's dreams valuable windows into their emotional and psychological states. Recurring dreams in children often reflect ongoing developmental challenges or unresolved concerns. A child who repeatedly dreams about being lost may be working through separation anxiety, while recurring dreams about monsters might reflect fears about powerlessness or lack of control over their environment. The development of dream recall abilities changes throughout childhood, influenced by language development, memory systems maturation, and cultural factors that affect attention to dream experiences. Some children naturally remember and share their dreams frequently, while others may rarely recall dream content. Helping children understand and cope with their dreams can support healthy emotional development. Teaching children that dreams are normal brain activities, that nightmares cannot hurt them, and that dreams often reflect their concerns and feelings can help reduce anxiety and promote emotional resilience. Sleep disorders can significantly affect children's dream experiences and overall development. Sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or other sleep disruptions can interfere with normal REM sleep and dream processes, potentially affecting learning, emotional regulation, and behavioral development. The transition from childhood to adolescence brings significant changes in dream patterns and content. Teenage dreams often become more complex, emotionally intense, and focused on identity, relationships, and future concerns as the adolescent brain undergoes dramatic developmental changes. Understanding children's dreams as normal, important aspects of development can help parents, teachers, and healthcare providers support healthy sleep and emotional development, rather than dismissing children's dreams as meaningless. Recognizing their role in processing experiences and emotions can inform approaches to supporting children's overall well-being. As we continue our gentle exploration into the realm of sleep and dreams, we encounter the shadow territories where the normal, restorative processes of sleep can become disrupted, creating experiences that range from mildly troublesome to profoundly disturbing. Sleep disorders affect not only the quantity and quality of sleep, but also the delicate choreography of dreaming itself, sometimes creating unusual intersections between the sleeping and waking worlds. Sleep paralysis represents one of the most frightening disruptions of normal dream processes. During this experience, people briefly wake up while their muscles remain paralyzed, a normal feature of REM sleep that prevents us from acting out our dreams. However, when this paralysis persists into partial wakefulness, it can create terrifying experiences where people feel awake and aware, but completely unable to move or speak. The hallucinations that often accompany sleep paralysis can be remarkably vivid and frightening, sometimes involving sensations of presence, pressure on the chest, or visual apparitions. These experiences occur because parts of the brain associated with REM sleep remain active, while consciousness partially returns, creating a hybrid state where dream imagery intrudes into waking awareness. REM behavior disorder presents the opposite problem from sleep paralysis. Instead of paralysis persisting into wakefulness, the normal muscle paralysis of REM sleep fails to occur, allowing people to physically act out their dreams. This can result in complex behaviors during sleep, from simple movements to elaborate actions that can be dangerous to the dreamer or their sleeping partner. People with REM behavior disorder may punch, kick, jump out of bed, or even engage in seemingly purposeful activities while remaining asleep and dreaming. The disorder is more common in older adults and may sometimes be an early sign of neurodegenerative conditions that affect the brain regions responsible for maintaining REM paralysis. Narcolepsy affects dreaming in fascinating and complex ways. People with narcolepsy experience disrupted sleep-wake cycles that can cause REM sleep to intrude into waking hours, leading to experiences like sleep paralysis, hypnagogic hallucinations, and sudden loss of muscle tone triggered by strong emotions. These symptoms represent the inappropriate activation of REM sleep mechanisms during waking hours. The sleep attacks characteristic of narcolepsy often involve immediate entry into REM sleep, bypassing the normal progression through non-REM sleep stages. This can result in vivid, dreamlike experiences that blur the boundaries between sleeping and waking consciousness, sometimes making it difficult for people with narcolepsy to distinguish between dreams and reality. Sleepwalking and other parasomnias typically occur during deep non-REM sleep, rather than during REM dreaming periods. However, these disorders can still affect overall sleep quality and architecture, potentially influencing REM sleep and dream patterns. People who sleepwalk may have fragmented sleep that affects their ability to achieve sustained, restorative dream periods. Night terrors, most common in children, involve episodes of intense fear and agitation during deep sleep. Unlike nightmares, which occur during REM sleep and are usually remembered, night terrors occur during non-REM sleep and are typically not recalled. These episodes can be extremely frightening for parents to witness, but the child usually has no memory of the event. Sleep apnea can significantly disrupt both sleep architecture and dreaming patterns. The repeated awakenings caused by breathing interruptions fragment sleep cycles, potentially reducing REM sleep and affecting dream frequency and quality. People with untreated sleep apnea often report fewer dreams and may experience changes in dream content related to breathing or suffocation themes. Restless leg syndrome and periodic limb movement disorder can also interfere with normal sleep progression and REM sleep. The uncomfortable sensations and involuntary movements associated with these conditions can cause frequent awakenings that disrupt dream cycles and prevent the sustained REM periods necessary for optimal dreaming. Insomnia affects dreaming in complex ways, often reducing total REM sleep time and potentially intensifying dreams when REM sleep does occur. People with chronic insomnia may experience REM rebound effects when they finally achieve sustained sleep, leading to particularly vivid or intense dreams that can sometimes be disturbing or anxiety-provoking. Medications used to treat various sleep disorders can have significant effects on dreaming patterns. Some medications suppress REM sleep, leading to reduced dream frequency and intensity, while others may cause vivid or unusual dreams as side effects. Understanding these medication effects is important for managing sleep disorders while preserving healthy dream processes. Post-traumatic stress disorder often involves severe disruptions to normal dreaming processes, with traumatic memories intruding into dreams in ways that re-traumatize rather than heal. These trauma-related nightmares may represent a malfunction of the normal emotional processing that healthy dreams provide, requiring specialized treatment approaches. The relationship between depression and dreaming is complex, with depressed individuals often showing altered REM sleep patterns including reduced REM latency, time to first REM period, increased REM density, and changes in dream content. Antidepressant medications typically suppress REM sleep, which may contribute to their therapeutic effects but can also affect dream experiences. Anxiety disorders can significantly affect dream content and emotional tone, often leading to more frequent nightmares or anxiety-provoking dreams. The heightened arousal and worry characteristic of anxiety disorders can carry over into sleep, influencing both dream content and the ability to achieve restful, restorative sleep. Substance use disorders can profoundly affect sleep architecture and dreaming patterns. Alcohol initially suppresses REM sleep but leads to REM rebound effects as it's metabolized, often resulting in vivid, disturbing dreams in the second half of the night. Other substances can have various effects on sleep stages and dream processes. The diagnosis and treatment of sleep disorders often require careful attention to their effects on dreaming and REM sleep. Sleep studies can reveal disruptions to normal sleep architecture that may not be apparent from subjective reports alone, helping healthcare providers develop treatment strategies that preserve healthy dream processes while addressing sleep problems. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, and other non-pharmacological treatments often prove effective for sleep disorders while avoiding some of the dream-suppressing effects of medications. These approaches work by addressing the behavioral and cognitive factors that contribute to sleep problems, often leading to improvements in both sleep quality and dream experiences. The treatment of nightmare disorders has evolved to include specialized approaches like imagery, rehearsal therapy, which helps people change recurring nightmare scenarios, and lucid dreaming training, which can help people gain some control over dream content. These approaches recognize that nightmares, while sometimes symptoms of other conditions, may require specific treatment focused on dream processes themselves. Understanding the relationship between sleep disorders And dreaming helps highlight the importance of treating sleep problems, not just for their effects on daytime functioning, but also for their impacts on the crucial psychological and neurobiological processes that occur during healthy dreaming. Restoring normal sleep architecture often leads to improvements in dream quality and overall mental health. As we drift gently toward the conclusion of our journey through the mysterious realm of sleep and dreams, let us pause in this quiet space to weave together the many threads of understanding we have gathered, creating a tapestry that honors both the scientific complexity and the profound beauty of our nightly adventures into the landscape of the unconscious mind. Throughout our exploration, we have discovered that dreams are far more than random neural activity or meaningless byproducts of sleep. They represent sophisticated neurobiological processes that serve crucial functions for memory consolidation, emotional processing, creative problem-solving, and psychological well-being. The brain that creates dreams is not resting passively, but actively engaging in some of its most important and complex work. The architecture of sleep that we explored reveals the careful orchestration required for healthy dreaming, the progression through sleep stages, the precise timing of REM periods, and the delicate neurochemical changes that create conditions for dreaming all demonstrate that these nightly journeys are essential biological processes refined by millions of years of evolution. We have seen how the dreaming brain becomes a unique form of consciousness, where visual cortex activity creates vivid imagery without external input, where emotional processing intensifies while logical constraints dissolve, and where the prefrontal cortex's reduced activity allows for the acceptance of impossible scenarios that would be immediately rejected. During waking hours, the neurochemical symphony of REM sleep, the surge of acetylcholine activating visual and emotional systems, while norepinephrine, serotonin, and histamine retreat to their lowest levels, creates conditions found nowhere else in human consciousness. This unique chemical environment enables the creative recombination of memories, the processing of emotions, and the generation of insights that can surprise us with their clarity and usefulness. Memory consolidation through dreams emerges as one of the most thoroughly documented functions of REM sleep, revealing how our brains transform the scattered experiences of daily life into lasting knowledge and wisdom. The hippocampal neocortical dialogue that occurs during dreaming doesn't simply transfer information, but creatively reconstructs it, connecting new experiences with existing knowledge in ways that can lead to learning and insight. The emotional processing functions of dreams provide a nightly therapy session where fears can be safely experienced, relationships explored, and psychological challenges worked through in the protected environment of sleep consciousness. The amygdala's heightened activity during REM sleep creates intense emotional experiences that may help build resilience and coping strategies for waking life. Creativity flourishes in dreams as the usual constraints of logic and reality dissolve, allowing for novel connections between disparate ideas and unexpected solutions to problems. The countless innovations and artistic works attributed to dream inspiration testify to the remarkable creative potential that emerges when consciousness operates under the altered conditions of REM sleep. The strange logic of dreams, where impossible events seem natural and time flows according to emotional rather than chronological rules, reflects the unique neurobiological conditions of the dreaming state. This suspension of normal logical processes, rather than being a flaw in the system, appears to be essential for the creative and integrative functions that dreams serve. Lucid dreaming reveals the remarkable plasticity of consciousness itself, demonstrating that awareness can exist in multiple forms, and that the boundaries between different states of consciousness are more fluid than traditionally assumed. The ability to maintain self-awareness within dreams opens fascinating questions about the nature of consciousness and volition. Even nightmares, those frightening visitors that can disturb our sleep, serve important functions as our brain's threat simulation system, helping us process fears and prepare for challenges in the safety of sleep. While distressing, these experiences often represent the mind's attempts to master difficult experiences and build emotional resilience. The rich tapestry of cultural perspectives on dreams reminds us that these universal human experiences have inspired countless ways of understanding consciousness. spirituality, and the relationship between mind and reality. From ancient dream temples to modern neuroscience, humans have consistently recognized that dreams represent something profound and meaningful about our inner lives. Children's dreams provide windows into the developing mind, showing how consciousness itself evolves as young brains grow and learn. The changes in dream content and complexity throughout childhood parallel the development of language, memory, and abstract thinking, revealing dreams as both expressions of and contributors to cognitive development. Sleep disorders demonstrate how disruptions to normal sleep architecture can affect not just rest and restoration, but also the crucial psychological processes that occur during healthy dreaming. Understanding these disruptions helps highlight the importance of preserving normal sleep and dream processes for overall mental health and well-being. The integration of all these perspectives reveals dreams as multifaceted phenomena that operate simultaneously on biological, psychological, cultural, and perhaps even spiritual levels. They represent points of intersection between neuroscience and consciousness, between individual psychology and universal human experience, between the material processes of the brain and the subjective richness of inner life. This understanding transforms our relationship with sleep and dreaming from one of passive acceptance to one of appreciation and wonder, knowing that our brains continue their sophisticated work throughout the night, weaving memory and emotion into the fabric of consciousness, processing challenges and generating insights can help us value sleep not just as rest, but as an active contributor to our mental and emotional well-being. The practical implications of this understanding extend to how we prioritize sleep, create conditions for healthy dreaming, and respond to dream experiences, recognizing the importance of REM sleep for memory, creativity, and emotional processing can motivate better sleep hygiene and more thoughtful approaches to sleep disorders and medications that might interfere with normal dream processes. Perhaps most importantly, understanding why our brains create dreams every night helps us appreciate the remarkable nature of consciousness itself. Dreams reveal that awareness is not a simple, unitary phenomenon, but a complex, dynamic process that can take multiple forms and serve various functions while maintaining the essential continuity of our sense of self. As we prepare to conclude our exploration, we carry with us a deeper appreciation for the nightly gift of dreams, those mysterious journeys that connect us to our deepest fears and highest aspiration, our oldest memories and newest insights, our individual psychology and our shared humanity. They remind us that even in sleep, we remain creative, processing, learning beings whose minds continue their beautiful work of making meaning from the complex tapestry of human experience. As we complete our gentle journey through the mysterious realm of dreams, we find ourselves returning from an exploration of one of consciousness's most beautiful and enigmatic territories, like travelers who have wandered through distant lands, and now carry with them the wisdom of new perspectives. We return with a deeper understanding of why our brains create those wild, wonderful, and sometimes bewildering dreams that visit us every night. Tonight, we have discovered that dreams are not random chaos, but purposeful creativity. Not meaningless noise, but meaningful processing. We have learned that the strange logic of dreams, the emotional intensity of nightmares, and the creative insights that sometimes emerge from sleep all serve essential functions in maintaining our mental health, processing our experiences, and preparing us for the challenges and opportunities of waking life. We have explored the remarkable neurobiological orchestra that creates dream experiences, the visual cortex painting vivid imagery in darkness, the limbic system amplifying emotions to help us process feelings and relationships, the hippocampus weaving memories into new patterns and connections. We have seen how the reduced activity of the prefrontal cortex creates the perfect conditions for creativity and emotional exploration by temporarily suspending the logical constraints that might otherwise limit our psychological flexibility. The neurochemical ballet of REM sleep has revealed itself as a precisely choreographed dance, where acetylcholine surges to activate dreaming while other neurotransmitters retreat, creating conditions found nowhere else in human consciousness. This unique chemical environment enables our brains to engage in the sophisticated work of memory consolidation, emotional integration, and creative problem-solving that dreams provide. We have learned that memory consolidation during dreams is not a simple transfer of information, but a creative reconstruction process that helps transform daily experiences into lasting wisdom. The hippocampal neocortical dialogue that occurs during sleep doesn't just preserve memories. It integrates them with existing knowledge, finds meaningful patterns, and sometimes generates insights that surprise us with their clarity and usefulness. The emotional processing functions of dreams have emerged as crucial for psychological health and resilience. Through the safe simulation of threatening or challenging situations, dreams help us develop coping strategies, work through conflicts, and integrate difficult experiences. Even nightmares, despite their frightening nature, often represent our mind's attempts to master fears and build emotional strength. We have marveled at the creativity that flourishes in dreams, where the usual constraints of logic and physics dissolve to allow for novel connections and unexpected solutions. The countless innovations, artistic works, and scientific discoveries attributed to dream inspiration testify to the remarkable creative potential that emerges when consciousness operates under the altered conditions of sleep. The strange logic of dreams where impossible events seem natural and time follows emotional, rather than chronological rules, has revealed itself not as a flaw in the system, but as an essential feature that enables the integrative and creative functions that dreams serve. This suspension of normal logical processes allows for the kind of flexible, associative thinking that underlies insight and innovation. Lucid dreaming has shown us the remarkable plasticity of consciousness itself, demonstrating that awareness can exist in multiple forms, and that we can sometimes become conscious participants in our own dream narratives. This fascinating hybrid state opens profound questions about the nature of consciousness, volition, and the boundaries between different mental states. The rich cultural tapestry of dream interpretation across human societies has reminded us that these universal experiences have inspired countless ways of understanding consciousness, spirituality, and meaning. From ancient dream temples to modern neuroscience laboratories, humans have consistently recognized that dreams represent something profound about our inner lives and our connection to larger realities. Children's dreams have provided windows into the developing mind, showing how consciousness itself evolves as young brains grow and learn. The changes in dream content throughout childhood parallel the development of language, memory, and abstract thinking, revealing dreams as both expressions of and contributors to cognitive and emotional development. Our exploration of sleep disorders has highlighted how disruptions to normal sleep architecture can affect not just rest and restoration, but also the crucial psychological processes that occur during healthy dreaming. This understanding emphasizes the importance of protecting and preserving the conditions necessary for optimal dream experiences throughout our lives. As we integrate all these discoveries, we find ourselves with a transformed understanding of sleep and dreams. Rather than viewing sleep as a passive state of unconsciousness, we now appreciate it as an active period of sophisticated neural processing, where some of the brain's most important work occurs. Dreams emerge not as meaningless byproducts, but as essential expressions of our mind's ongoing efforts to learn, grow, heal, and create. This understanding invites us to approach our own sleep and dreams with greater appreciation and intention, knowing that our brains engage in crucial memory consolidation, emotional processing, and creative work during sleep can inspire us to prioritize healthy sleep habits, create optimal conditions for dreaming, and pay attention to the messages and insights that our dreams may offer. The practical wisdom that emerges from this exploration extends beyond sleep hygiene to a deeper appreciation of the rhythms and cycles that support human flourishing. Understanding the importance of REM sleep for cognitive and emotional health can inform decisions about everything from work schedules to medication choices to lifestyle practices that support optimal brain function. Perhaps most profoundly, our journey through the science of dreams has revealed something beautiful about the nature of consciousness itself. We have seen that awareness is not a simple, unitary phenomenon, but a complex, dynamic process that can take multiple forms while maintaining the essential continuity of our sense of self. The fact that we can be conscious in dreams, experiencing, feeling, thinking, And sometimes even recognizing that we're dreaming speaks to the remarkable flexibility and resilience of human consciousness. The dreams that visit you each night represent your brain's gift to your waking consciousness, processed memories that enhance learning, integrated emotions that support psychological health, creative insights that can inspire innovation, and simulated experiences that build resilience and coping skills. They are love letters from your unconscious mind to your conscious awareness, written in the symbolic language of imagery, emotion, and narrative. As you prepare for your own nightly journey into the realm of dreams, carry with you the knowledge that these experiences, however strange or wonderful they may be, serve essential functions in maintaining your mental and emotional well-being. Your brain's decision to create dreams represents millions of years of evolutionary wisdom, preserving and refining processes so crucial to human flourishing that they have become as essential as breathing or heartbeat. Rest well, knowing that as you drift into sleep tonight, your remarkable mind will continue its beautiful work, weaving the experiences of today into the dreams that will carry you peacefully through the night. In the gentle darkness of sleep, your brain will tend to your memories. With the care of a master gardener, process your emotions with the skill of a wise therapist, and engage in creative explorations with the freedom of an inspired artist. Let the understanding of dreams as gifts of restoration, healing, and wonder bring peace to your sleep and appreciation for the miraculous processes that continue working on your behalf throughout the night. Your dreams are not interruptions to rest, but expressions of your brain's ongoing commitment to your growth, learning, and well-being. Sleep peacefully, dream beautifully, and wake refreshed, carrying with you the quiet knowledge that even in sleep, you remain a creative, processing, growing being whose mind continues its remarkable work of creating meaning, processing experience, and preparing for tomorrow's adventures in the wonderful complexity of consciousness. Good night from Sleepy Scientist.